Okay, so let me share the screen. Then so what I'm currently sharing is a course outline for curriculum studies. Yeah, so this course is curriculum studies in geography. Curriculum studies in geography. So this is the course outline. We want to go through what we are going to do within this course. Then from there, we start with the first unit. If you're able to finish with the first unit, we'll look at the second unit. And normally that's, as usual, I always take 2 units at a time so that we'll be able to get time to conference and discussion that we are going to do. Okay. So the course is designed to offer prospective geography teachers the opportunity to be able to discuss the various basic concepts, issues, and principles so far as the school curriculum is concerned. And here, when we are talking about the school curriculum, most of our focus will be on the geography curriculum, especially in the senior high school. So we'll try to explore the overall, we'll look at the overall structure and content of the geography curriculum and further examine the processes that involve when you are developing a curriculum. Then when you are implementing a curriculum, we'll also be looking at it. We'll also be looking at how do we evaluate a program that is being implemented or that is in the process of implementation. Then we'll also be looking at issues and relating it in the context of geography as a whole so that we'll have a better perspective and understanding so far as the course is concerned. So it is my hope that by the time we end this course, we'll be able to achieve, you'll be able to analyze various concepts, curriculum concepts, and other, also be able to examine the various philosophical perspectives or educational philosophies and their perspectives so far as curriculum is concerned. Then we'll also be able to look at some criteria we consider whenever you are selecting a content or subject matter, and also organizing those contents. Likewise, learn experiences and also apply the various principles and processes in developing a curriculum for a school or an institution, and also try to do a synopsis of the current standard-based geography curriculum that we have in the senior high school level. So these are the content topics. We're looking at the concept of curriculum, where we look at the origin of the concept of curriculum, various definitions by some scholars, among others. We'll also be looking at philosophical perspective to curriculum, where we'll look at some of the educational philosophies and their view so far as curriculum is concerned. We'll look at determinants of curriculum, types of curriculum and their implications. Then we'll also be looking at curriculum development process. Then, having developed that, we'll also look at curriculum implementation, look at curriculum evaluation, and end up with synopsis of the new standard-based curriculum. So these are the 4 major areas, 8 major topics that we're going to look at. So I anticipate that every week we'll take 2 topics and we'll be able to exhaust them before the time. So that is it for the course. As we know, it's all purely online interactive discussion. And as we all know, assessment takes 40%, end of semester 60. And we know that assessment is a combination of 2 quizzes. That's why 40% of the final mark will be based on 2 quizzes, quiz 1, quiz 2, and the exams as well. Then there are some reading materials you have in here to also guide your reading as well. Okay, so that is that for the course outline. I'll pause here, and if you have any question with respect to what we have said now, you can bring it out for reflection before we set out with the unit 1. So any question on the course outline, the things we are going to do?
No, sir. Please, you can proceed.
No, sir. Let's proceed.
Okay. Well noted. Okay. Then let me stop sharing this and share the unit 1 slide so that we go through. So whilst I'm trying to open the slide and share, if you have any question you want to ask, you can go ahead and do so.
Because I believe Emmanuel Moa asked a question concerning the exams.
And what was the question, please? What was the question? Because
please, can you ask a question, please?
he's asking about the
Okay.
nature of geography.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah, no one failed. No one failed. You did well.
All right, sir. Thank you.
You did well. Yes.
Hey, sir, are you sure?
Hey, sir. Thank you.
But let's do first thing first. After we'll talk about that. I think that those who had the material were able to go through the review questions. It was really helpful to them. And those review questions I sent for which was behind in the material was very important. And it's the same for this course as well. So I expect that you will get the material and be doing your own solving and assessment before even the time is due. It will help you very well. Okay, so why does it mean that you didn't? Some of you don't believe that. The way some of you are asking me, say, "Are you sure?" Or you didn't believe in yourself. Eh?
Sir, because the quiz two and how the questions were framed, before you finish reading the question, you have even forgotten about the preamble. So it's like
No, I said the quiz. The quiz ones, that one is institute. You know, it's automatic. When you do the quiz, it's automatic online marking. So it is the exams that I'm talking about. So it's not the quiz.
But, sir,
okay.
when I called you last week, you told me that you were yet to receive the papers from Code.
The exams one.
Yes, please.
Oh, that was, I think, I have received it last week and I've worked on it.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you, please.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's
Thank you, sir.
let's focus on what we have to do today and make progress. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
please, this is a humble request. Like, you share with our course rep, then as you lecture them, we also open it.
I share what?
The slides.
No, if I've not done handling as a course, when I'm go through with you, that I share with you. Because if I don't do that, how will you? Even if I give it to you, and you are also going to as I'm presenting, how will you pay attention? You wouldn't pay attention.
Okay, I hear.
Uh,
Thank you, sir.
okay. Okay. So we are looking at the unit 1, which is the origin and concept of curriculum. The origin and concept of curriculum as the first unit we want to look at. So now there are a lot of scholars' perspectives of when it comes to the meaning of curriculum. But I would first like to hear from you. You have also come across the word curriculum in your life before. So before we look at what some scholars have said, I would like you to also share with me what you also know when it comes to the word curriculum. I'm sure some of you have heard it somewhere. Some of you have also read before coming, and some of you also have some materials. So when we say the word curriculum, what comes into mind? What do you know about that? Okay, so Ibrahim Osman,
Sir,
what do you have to say? Have you heard the word curriculum before? Okay,
yes, please.
I think.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So what did you hear about it?
Um, sir, please. Um, we. I've gone through some of them, and then I got to
No,
know that.
what I want you to know, when you say the word curriculum, if you have heard the word before, what comes into mind? Not what someone has said. I
Okay,
want.
okay,
Uh,
okay.
or you want to think about it.
Yes, please. Let me. When I'm done, I'll get back.
Okay, Judith.
Okay, so for me, they are planned and organized set of learning experiences that are mostly provided by schools or educational institutions.
So then you are talking as curriculum as an academic discipline. You are talking about curriculum as an academic discipline.
Yes, please.
Okay. So if you are a set of learning experiences, that's good, which is organized by the school. So he's talking about curriculum as an academic discipline. Okay, thank you very much. James, I think James Abandi, I saw your hand up before Judith. So please, I don't know, you have lowered your hand again. James, okay. Somebody do say.
Yes, sir. Please thanks for the opportunity.
You're
Um,
welcome.
in my point of view, I would say curriculum is a Latin word which came from the word cura, which means to run or to proceed.
Okay. So let me hear from Ibrahim Osman. I think your hand is up now.
All right, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. And when we talk about curriculum, what actually comes off mind is that is the expectations for what will be taught and what students will do in a program of state. That is what I understand when it comes to academic aid.
Okay, so
thank you, sir.
Okay, Oseko.
Thank you, sir. I also, my understanding of curriculum is they are the planned and then the unplanned activities that happens in the school.
Okay, thank you. So all the ones you have communicated to me have some variables that are very key to the definition of curriculum. But what I wanted you to let me know is curriculum in general word. When you hear the word curriculum, what comes into mind? I wasn't so much into the academic discipline aspect. I see Emmanuel Amwa. Please let me hear you. Your hand is up.
Okay. Doc, with curriculum, we're looking at the sum total of all educational opportunities and desired learning results provided to students under the auspices of the school.
So you are quoting that of Bishop's definition, eh?
Yes, please.
Okay. So you see, what I want you to appreciate is that when you understand the concept itself, you can maneuver it in your own way. Now, do you know that, have you heard of this saying before, experience best teaches? Have you heard of this word? Experience best teaches. Or some would say experience is the best teacher.
Yes, sir.
Why do they say that? Well, what does it mean when they say that? Yes.
So
Yes.
it means
Yes,
when you go through some experiences yourself, it becomes a schema in your head, which always you can rely upon it.
I mean,
what I'm saying is, if you go through some experience yourself, it becomes part of your brain, which always you can rely upon it and retrieve for any future occurrence.
Okay. Thank you. I guess you are learning with your child, eh? Okay, Judith.
Okay, sir. So I also think that it means that people learn more when they do things themselves or go through situations on their own, than reading or listening to what people say.
Okay. Okay. Then let me add this whilst we are giving our views on this. You know, our elderly people also used to say that, or it's an adage that advice never transforms a person or never change a person until the person finds himself in a situation or a problem. Yes, when you bring it in my local dialect, they will tell you that afutu in such a nipa chide in such. Why do they say that?
Take it again.
You can also explain it in any language that you feel comfortable. So go ahead. Yeah, Osman, you wanted to say something before I brought in this. Yes, Osman.
Sir, no. I had wanted to interpret what you just said.
Oh, okay. Okay. So go ahead and interpret. Oh, go ahead and interpret.
Sir, from what you just said, as you said, a football and such a nipa, I didn't hear. Mary Pachan there, ABR, we learn through experiences.
Okay. Sammy, your hand is up. Yeah, Sammy, Edu said Poku. Okay. Yeah, so
My take on this is that when assuming someone is doing something
yes.
and you want to, maybe you've done it before and you want to use that opportunity to advise the person, that person wouldn't take it unless the person goes through maybe what you went through before the person will understand what you wanted to tell him or her.
So what's our other example? Let's assume you tell your child guy is sick. The child wouldn't believe it unless you give sugar for the child to taste it on its own so that it will know whether it is sweet or what better. So that's from my point of view.
Okay. So Lucas Atanga.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so my view on the experience, that experience is the best teacher. That is true because if you look at human beings, we best understand things when we can relate it to what we already know. So if you meet a new situation, you better appreciate it or understand it if you can relate it to something that you already know. So that's why it's difficult for people to accept advices or anything like that if they haven't gone through that same experience before.
Okay. Okay, thank you. All that you have said are in line. You see, there was this issue we're dealing with. We had a student who had a broken heart by a final year student. These people that they do help me to finish my course. Then the lady got devastated because the guy was teaching her and offering all the necessary help. So the lady got so much in love with the guy, and the guy at a point broke up with her. She got so devastated to the extent that she could not even go for lectures. And the friends, instead of consoling and trying to empathize with her situation, some of them the lady did not expect that the friend would be so devastated to that extent. But she has gone through that situation. At times, experiencing it is different from you hearing someone saying and you reading it in books. The experience are totally different. So she was thinking that, well, guys are many. Why don't you move ahead and get another? But it is not that easy. So at a point, there has to be counseling matter has to come in. And this lady now perceived all level 400 guys and even guys to be the same. Hence, going forward, you'll be very careful with the university guys. You see, that experience that he has gotten, though it's a bad one, that experience has given him some understanding about the concept of love or relationship. Love or relationship. And that has informed him to say that henceforth, going into any relationship, since all guys are the same, I'll be very careful. Probably at first he fell in love. This time he will walk in love. You see, falling in love and you walking in love, they are two different things. When you fall in love, by the time you rise from falling and walking out, it would have been too late. But when you walk in love, when there's a danger, you turn and you flee. It is an experience that the person has acquired, and that experience has shaped his thinking, his knowledge, his understanding, and his attitude towards love. And that is what we term as curriculum of life. So curriculum of life, curriculum is just about the experiences you have gone through in life. Whether good or bad, they are experiences you have gone through in life. And it has helped shape your understanding, your thinking, your knowledge, your attitude, your behavior, your perception, and your values about that particular thing, be it love, be it academic, or by that situation. And that is what is about curriculum. So bringing it in the context of the school, that's why we say that it is the total experiences you have gone through within the school. And who normally goes through that experience in the school? Is the learner. And that is why Bishop 1985 will tell you that it is the sum total of the experiences a learner or an individual undergoes under the auspices of what? The school. So the sum total of the experience, we are talking about those experiences that are officially sanctioned, which we classify under official curriculum. And those experiences that are not officially sanctioned but goes on in the school, which we call the informal. So for example, when there's break time, the activities you go through. When there's Fridays, we have writers and debaters club. We have denominational meeting, dining hall, social gathering, entertainment, denominational. These are all part of experiences we acquire in school, which is not part of the official one, but these are things that give us some shaping, attitude modeling, and some knowledge about the concept of curriculum. So even as every human being, right from the time we were born, you started crawling, wailing, and started walking. Your parents started bathing you at a point. You said you are experiencing your adolescent stage. The guys, broadening of chest. The ladies, their breasts started developing. And they said they don't want their parents to bath them again. They are matured enough. And now we used to bath outside. And now we get to a certain stage. We say, no, we are shy, bathing outside. Now we need to bath in the bathroom. These are all stages of experiences we have gone through and who has made us who we are today. Our thinking and experience, the environment we find ourselves. And that's what we term as curriculum of life. So bringing it in the context of the school setting, that's why we are saying that curriculum as an academic discipline in the context of the school, they are the experiences an individual, and here because in school you use learner or student instead of what? Individual. So they are the experiences a learner goes through. They go through where? In the school or within an academic institution, or that's why others will say under the auspices of what? The school. And these experiences may either lead them to develop knowledge, understanding, and values and attitude in their academic life. Are you getting the concept? So that's basically
Yes, sir, we are getting it.
That's basically the definition of curriculum. So this one, you don't even need an authority per your understanding. You can define it in your own terms. Are you getting it? So let's having understand this way. Let's try to look at one or two scholarly definitions that will make progress. So if you look at what I've mentioned, that of Bishop's definition, which says that the sum total of experiences that the learner undergoes in school. When you look at that of, I intentionally maintain these two because it's one of the definitions that encapsulate all the other areas that's the curriculum. That's why I maintain these ones. When you also look at Ronaldo in 78, it's also of the view that curriculum is a formal and informal content and process. When we say formal, another name for formal is plan. If it is not planned, it is unplanned. So anytime you see formal, it means that everything in the learning activity is prescribed, is predetermined in a codified document. And so another is that if it's either formal, planned, or official, these are same thing, referring to the same thing. And we have what we call informal. The informal are the ones that are not directly documented or sanctioned as the official part of the curriculum that must be run, but it goes on in the school. Like, for example, the sporting activities you do, it's not part of the curriculum that we develop for you to go and do in the school, but it's part of the school's activity or the district program or calendar of the activity that they want to go through. The denominational meetings, where we have GAMSU, CASU, JIMSA, and all those things are all part. Writers and debaters clubs and wildlife clubs and all these things are all informal content or process by which learners gain knowledge, understanding, develop skills, and alter appreciation, attitude appreciation, and values under the auspices of what? The school. Now, look at the data former, the Ronaldo's definition, Bishop definitions, and let's look at Mark Cosmas. He says that curriculum is what happens in the classroom to students and their parents. That is the total experiences of education. In fact, he has gone a step further to even look at the informal education that the parent even provides at home as part of the what you call the total experience of education. But in talking about, he's going beyond. That's why I said what happens in the classroom to students and their parents. So because the parents also provide some form of what? Education. But the form of education parents provide is not the one that happens within the academic, within the school. Now, Iboki 2002 also defined curriculum as the total learning activities and educative experiences offered by an institution to achieve its prescribed objectives. Kukita refers to the transformation of curriculum materials into meaningful learning experiences for students. Now, having a look at these definitions, if you are defining curriculum in your own words, what are some of the key words that must stand out? If not all, there are certain key words that are conk that must reflect in your definition. What are they? Yes, Judith.
Say total learning experience.
Learning experience. Experience is one. Whether total or some, or we are experience. The word is experience. That's very key. Experience. Yes, Amwan, Imano.
Students or learners?
Students or learners. Fantastic. Mary and Ponsajman.
It should be in the school.
In the school or academic institution or auspices of the school.
Institution,
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, Imana Asante, thank you. So, yes, then what again? Yeah, Osman, your hand is up. Yes? Is that all? Okay, so at least for the one, if for nothing at all, at least these three must be seen as experience. Either total or some or whatever adjective you're going to use. The most important word is experience. or learning experience, whichever, there's a word experience. We have the learner. We have academic institution or the school in there. You can also add process. You see, it's a process. Curriculum, this is a process they go through. So you can also add process. So you can also say formal and informal experiences or processes. They are all correct. So at least for nothing at all, these 4 keywords must feature in your various definition. Okay. UNESCO 2002, they also have the view that curriculum is the design, organization, and planning of learning activities, which include goals, content, activities, and assessment method. That is according to UNESCO. So there are L. Asta, that's 2023. They of the view that curriculum is prescriptive content that illustrate what will be taught, who will teach, who will be taught, with what tools, and in what context, with what effect, and how learners will be assessed. So the moment you hear prescriptive, it means that everything about the content is prescribed. That's why it's a prescriptive. That's what ought to be, what curriculum ought to be. You know, in defining curriculum, we have prescriptive definition to curriculum and we have descriptive definition. So prescriptive definition to curriculum tells you what curriculum ought to be. Then the descriptive is what actually prevails in the classroom as a curriculum. So these are some scholarly definitions so far as the definition of curriculum is concerned. Any question on this before we move on to relationship between curriculum and syllabus?
No question, sir.
Okay, Amwa's hand is up. So Amwa, let's hear you.
Okay, docs, please, looking at the various definitions that we have looked at, I can see that some of the definition only limited the curriculum to the learning experience the learners acquire in the classrooms, without adding the unplanned or the learning experience the learners acquire spontaneously. It have not been included.
Okay, so sir, the experiences, they didn't say plan or unplanned. If they were specific as plan or formal, that's where you can make an argument that they have left out the unplanned. But if the person is telling you that curriculum is the design, organization, and planning of learning activities, including goals, content, activities, and assessment tools.
Okay, sir. Please, sir, let's look at the L. Astal 2023.
Okay, yes, curriculum is prescriptive content that illustrates what will be taught, who will teach, who will be taught, with what tools, and in what context, with what effect, and how learners will be assessed. So this is giving you a prescriptive form of what? Curriculum. So one of the criticisms you can level against this is that he did not include other experiences which is not part of the prescribed one. Are you getting it?
Yes, please.
So this definition can be criticized to be because, and that is why they themselves, he made it specifically as what? Prescriptive. That's why I said it's a prescriptive content. So you can see that this definition is more of the official form than the informal, which do not really reflect the broad scope of other experiences that learners also acquire in the school. So I agree with you on that of the L. Asta definition.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
So you see, that's the beauty of the whole academia. People do something, you look at it, and what you believe what ought to be, and what they are currently prevailing. Then you critique and you bring what you think that must be, and that's what we mean in academia. Okay, now I'm sure you have heard the word curriculum and syllabus. Now we even don't say syllabus, we say teacher's manual. Teacher's manual. But it's just the same as the syllabus. Then we have the curriculum. I would like to find out what is the difference between curriculum and syllabus or teacher's manual. What's the difference between them? Are they the same? If they are the same, say they are the same. If they are not the same, you provide your reason.
Sir, please, sir, they are the same.
Okay. Why are they the same?
Okay, previously, before the new education reform, which I think began in 2019, basic school were using syllabus, and recently they have changed that to curriculum, meaning they all contain the same content, just that the name is making the difference.
No, previously you were having the curriculum and the syllabus. So.
My,
Okay.
my 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 colleagues will bear me out. You can ask my colleagues.
Okay. Emmanuel Amwa.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, please.
Doc, please, they are not the same.
Okay.
With curriculum is broad, but their syllabus is narrow. And even looking at their nature, curriculum is prescriptive, whilst syllabus is descriptive.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Oseko 4.
Thank you, sir. I think I've even typed my response in the message. Curriculum is the overall content and structure of an educational program. But with syllabus, is just talk about a detailed outline that covers a specific course or a subject.
Okay. That's good. Let's hear others too. Ibrahim Osman.
All right, sir. With the respect to curriculum, as my colleague just said, I wanted to touch on it and then the overall framework of the educational program. But for the syllabus, we are talking about a specific course or subject. That is the subject. And then it has been break down into topics that have to be covered, the topics that we need to be covered. The learning objectives, the assessment, the methods, and the expectation for student performance. That is the syllabus with respect to the syllabus. And curriculum has a broader scope, covering the range of topics and the skills as well.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I say Innocent, Dogwe.
Yeah. So curriculum is the broad overall educational plan for a whole program, while syllabus is the detailed or specific outline for a single subject within it. So that's the difference between them.
Thank you very much. And I think the last person, Amwa, your hand is still up. Emmanuel.
Okay, sir. Yeah, using Ghana as an example, in Ghana here, curriculum is being developed or prepared by NACA and other bodies. But with syllabus, it can be prepared by the directorate.
Which directorate?
So, curriculum syllabus could be even subject teachers. They can meet and prepare a syllabus. But with the curriculum, since it's a national document, it is being prepared up there by the ministry with the help from NACA and then other institutions.
Okay.
So, sir, my question is, right now, what the course we are learning is curriculum studies in geography. Does it mean it's a syllabus or it's still a curriculum?
Okay. The word is curriculum, is not syllabus. So the word itself tells you that we are talking about curriculum. We are not talking about. But if you want to look at it in the context of curriculum and syllabus, we can say that curriculum studies in geography is a course that you can say is a syllabus. Are you getting it?
Yeah,
Then,
that's what I was.
yes. Then the program you are reading, which is BEd Social Sciences, Geography major, is a curriculum. So,
Okay.
just as your colleagues have said, when we talk of curriculum is the broad focus of a program, a broad focus of a study or a program, which outlines. So, for example, this program you are going through, it is designed that there are 4 undergraduate level. There are 4 semesters, 4 years with 8 semesters. So, within the curriculum, each and every semester, all the courses you are going to do is there. We have the national relevance of the curriculum, inadequacies in skills, among a lot of things. And it even includes semester by semester all the courses you are going to do till the time you graduate. Even when you are what will qualify you to graduate, some of the things which is very detailed and voluminous. But the syllabus is just giving it just showing you the subject matter or the content of each of the courses or the subjects or content in the curriculum. That's why we say that the collectives of the syllabus gives you what? The curriculum. That's why we say the curriculum is often used to refer a focus of study consisting of various courses, all designed to reach a particular proficiency and qualification. However, syllabus refers to the content or subject matter, instructions, strategies, and evaluation procedure of an individual course. So the collective syllabus as a program of study represents the map of the curriculum for that program. So let's take senior high school, for example. Like the gentleman was saying, previously in the senior high school, we still had the curriculum there and the syllabus was also there. So we have what we call the BEd General Arts program in the secondary school. That General Arts program, yes, General Arts program in the secondary school. Here, or those reading at 1 at 2. There's a curriculum for that. Where those doing general art, there are courses you are supposed to do in terms of government, geography, economics, and maybe elective maths. Then some also be doing history. Then those who do at 2, we have the CRS and all those literature people also there. In that curriculum, they spell out the 3 years you are going to spend in the senior high school. Those courses you are supposed to do every term. And that one, they don't give you, the teachers don't have it. It is what now we call the NACA. And it's NACA who is in charge of the production of these curriculum and the syllabus at the same time. So what they will do is that they will assemble experts, subject specialists, teachers to sit, develop it, and government will go through it before they sanction for schools to use. So we can say that the syllabus is a subset of the curriculum. And now, what the secondary school people call a syllabus is what we, the university, we call it course. So what the secondary school will say, subject matter or content, the subject, we call it course in the university. What the secondary school will call syllabus is what we, the university, will call it course outline. Course outline. I getting it. Okay, Samuel, your hand is up. Samuel, do say Pogu, your hand is up.
So I raised it earlier, but you didn't call. It's not about this one.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, but if it's still something that has not been addressed, you can raise it up.
So I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay. So we can make progress. Okay. So another example that can be given. That's why when you go to the secondary school, we have a mathematics syllabus, geography syllabus, because that only gives the individual subjects or content. So in this program you are reading, I'll show you a copy of a curriculum that we developed recently for the university. It's that one, it details everything you are going to do within the whole year and the courses to your graduation, what to qualify you, the cutoff, the things you must meet, which include all the individual courses. So curriculum studies in geography, element of earth science, geothought are all individual courses which come together to show you the program, the social science geography major, training you to become prospective teachers. Okay. So we have the next one. We want to look at the element or the component of the curriculum. There are 4 basic components or elements. You see, at times in books you see component and element, they are the same. So these 4 basic component elements are constantly interacting, and one is purpose. One of the elements or components of curriculum is purpose. And the purpose, another name for purpose is aims, goals, and objectives. Then we have content, which is also known as what subject matter as another component. We have methods, which is also known as learn experience. That means that in some books, you may see methods and you may not see learning experiences. They are the same. I getting it. Then we have evaluation, which is the last one. Now, let me add that there are some books, you will see them adding the 5th one, which is resources. I getting it. But you see, when you are talking about the method and the learning experience level, the resources are featured in there. So when you still bring resources as another one, that means that your method and learning experience must be redefined to exclude resources. But since it is features in method and learners, we don't need to bring resources as a 5th component. But some books do that. And so that is for your information. If you read some books and you come across there's a 5th component as resources, that's what it means. Okay. Now let's take them one by one and try to understand what goes into each of them. So we look at purpose or aims, goals, and objectives. And we are saying that the purpose of the curriculum is always written or designed based on the social aspirations of the society. Take note that, you see, the school exists in the society to fulfill a certain mission or a certain agenda for the society. That's why in some books they will tell you, we always say that the school is a microcosm of the society. Meaning that when we say the school is a microcosm of a macrocosm society, what we are trying to say is that the school dwells in a society to fulfill a certain aspirations of the society. That means that the school is not there to do his own bidding. So whatever the school is doing must realign to the needs, the aspirations, the concerns, and the demands of the society. So the aims, goals, and objectives are always based on the social aspirations, social needs, and concerns of the society. And anytime you are constructing your aims, goals, and objectives, or your purpose, it must reflect the various domains of learning, which include the cognitive, affective, and the psychomotor domains, which are very, very critical to ensure a holistic development of the learners. Now, the question is, before you conduct any aims, goals, and objectives, the first activity you must do is to conduct what we call needs assessment. Needs assessment. And when we say needs assessment is basically a feasibility study that we conduct to know the needs, the concerns, the interests, and the demands of the society. Likewise, the learners or the students who are going to go through that new curriculum or new program. And even the kind of knowledge that the society wants their people to be equipped with. So based on this needs assessment or feasibility study, that you are able to be in a position to know what the society wants and translate it into aims, goals, and what objectives. So anyone who say I'm developing a curriculum and you just stand up and writing, you are not in tune. You must first do what you call needs assessment. Other books may also say you must conduct what we call situational analysis. Situational analysis is basically the difference between what ought to be and what is currently prevailing, what is. So if society expects that, for example, if a society expects that learners will be able to grow, finish university and get jobs to do and come and help the society, that is what education is expected to provide to learners. But if at the end of the day, they are graduating and they are not getting jobs and they are becoming graduate unemployment, they're burden onto their parents, then there's a problem. And that's why recently, if you check, parents were now having a second thought of the need for university education. Because you go university, you are not getting jobs. And at the end of the day, you are becoming a burden on the family again. Then they don't see the need of you going to the university in the first place. You get it? So then we want to do an investigation to see what ought to be. What ought to be is that society wants children to graduate and become responsible citizens. But here's the case. They are graduating and they are not getting jobs. But so what is currently prevailing is that there are a lot of graduate unemployment. So the gap between what ought to be and what is currently prevailing is what we term as situational analysis, the difference. And that becomes the fulcrum or the focal point for the investigation of review and the design of the new program. Are you getting a picture? So having designed...
Sir, please, I'm sorry for interruption. Can you come again, please? I beg.
Come again from where?
Thank you.
From where? Mary, from where that you want me to come again? Mary.
I believe it's a part of the unemployment and society wanting the individuals to complete school and become responsible.
Yeah, that was an example I'm citing to give you the understanding of what we call situational analysis. which I said situational analysis is the difference between what ought to be and what is, the difference with the gap between what is, what ought to be. So I gave example, for example, that the society wants people to go to university and the expectation that by the time you finish, you get job to do and become responsible contributors to the society. Yet people are being graduated from university, they are not getting jobs to do and they are becoming graduates unemployed. So what ought to be is that people should finish university and get jobs. But what is currently what is prevailing is that they are completing university and they are not getting jobs. So now they are graduate unemployed. They are graduate unemployed. So this is a problem, and that becomes the focal point where we start the investigation to see what is wrong with the curriculum and what is the society want to be done, so that from there we can design a new program to address the needs and the concerns of the society. Mary, your hand is up again. I don't know if your issue has not been addressed. You can bring it
Sir,
out.
please, what I was saying is that, okay, sir, please, what I was saying is that we are talking about the elements or components of the curriculum. And the first one that you are discussing with that is the purpose.
Yes.
So I want to know your example, the example that you are citing. But another purpose you have talked about the aims, the goals, and then the objectives. So I want to know the example that you are citing. So the example that you are cited now, the what ought to be, is it under which should I place the what ought to be? Is it the aims? Is it the goals? Is it the objectives? I'm following, just I'm
Okay,
confused. That's what I'm asking. Okay.
A minute. My just give me a minute. My son.
Hello, please. Good afternoon. Can you all hear me? Hello, please. Good afternoon. Can you all hear me?
Good
Yes,
afternoon.
please.
Yes, we can hear.
Please, my name is Favor. I am the online monitor for the course Curriculum Studies in, I think this is, yeah, Curriculum Studies in Geography. And I'm aware that your lecturer was teaching, but I had to step out for a while. When I came back, it's like he's no longer part of the call. I wanted to ask if everything was okay.
Yes, please. Everything was okay.
Okay, so are you on a break or is he done with the class?
He's not done. He says he's just attending to a certain emergency. He'll get back to us very soon.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Please, good afternoon.
Mr. Ben.
Please, like I said, Dr.
Good
Bento
afternoon.
just called me. Like I said, Dr. Bento just called me. He's having something to do with, so please let's give him some few minutes. He'll be with us. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, Mary. Hello.
Doc, please, you can continue.
Yes, please. So, is Mary online? Okay. So, you see, what I was talking about was under purpose, which is also known as aims, goals, and objectives. And I was saying that you cannot just stand up and write aims, goals, and objectives. You can only do that when you have done what we call a needs assessment. And I said the needs assessment is a feasibility study that you do to know the needs, the concerns, the demands of the society, and what society believes should be the form of education for their children. And also the learners themselves, what are the things that they want, they demand, should be transmitted to them, because if it is not reflective of learners' background and their maturity level, at the end of the day, you have a program which may not be reflective of students' needs. Then I said that even in other books, you may not see needs assessment, but you may see what we call situational analysis. And situational analysis is the difference between what ought to be and what is prevailing. And the example I cited about graduate unemployment was to explain how to appreciate the concept of situational analysis, what ought to be, and what is currently what prevailing. So that's what, so what I cited was under situational analysis or needs assessment and not under aims, goals, and objectives. Now, having been able to conduct your needs assessment or your situational analysis, then you are now in the position to write your aims, goals, and what objectives. Now, when we talk of aims, curriculum aims are broad or general statement of intent, which gives general direction about a particular program of study. That is, for example, so we can say that a curriculum aim or an aim is a general statement of intent that gives general direction about a particular program of study. Whilst curriculum goals are also general statement or broad statement, just that it's a bit more defined as compared to aims. But goals also lack specificity. It's not specific and it's not measurable. So curriculum objectives comes in to make it more. So curriculum objectives are specific statements reflective of specific direction, specific measurability, which reflects the concept of smartness when it comes to objective stating. So these are the three differences between aims, goals, and objectives. So, for example, the program that you are running, you are currently pursuing, the BS Social Science Program Geography major, we can say that the aim of the program is that by the time you end this program, we'll be able to train geography teachers who can teach the various branch of or aspects of geography in the senior high school efficiently and effectively. This could be the curriculum aim, the aim of this program you are reading. Now, under this aim, we are saying that this is a general statement giving a general direction of a particular program of study, but it lacks specificity. It's not specific and it's not measurable. Now, take note, always the goal is deduced from the aims and the objectives are deduced from the goals. So if the aim of your program is saying that by the time we end this program, we'll be able to equip or train geography teachers who will be able to teach various aspects of geography effectively and efficiently. Now the goal will now say that by the time you end this program, we'll be able to train geography teachers who will be able to teach physical geography effectively and efficiently. So you could see that whilst one said various branches or various aspects, which is broad, the goal is a bit more defined, which you say that physical geography, which is an aspect, or human geography or practical geography. Then how do you measure teaching physical geography, which is also not specific? So the objectives comes in saying that by the time we end this program, we'll be able to train geography teachers who will be able to teach 2 topics in physical geography effectively and efficiently. So if a teacher is able to, having gone through this program and you're able to teach 2 topics in physical geography, then we have been able to achieve our aim. So are you seeing the difference between the aims, goals, and objectives? Are you getting the picture? Hello?
Yes, Doc.
Okay.
Yes, please.
As part of this program, did you do anything like com skills or communication skills?
Yes, please.
Let me use that one too as an example. The aim of the course you did could be that by the time you end the course communication skills, you'll be able to equip learners who, that by the end of the course, will be able to have learners, equip learners to improve their communication skills, to improve their communication. That could be the aim of the communication skill program that course that you did. But you see, this is broad. How do we assess improved communication? It's broad. It's general direction. It's not specific. It's not more defined. Then the goals, as is deduced from aims, will come in to say that by the time you end this course, learners will be equipped to improve their writing skills, to improve their oratory skills. And you see that these are more defined, specific skills under communication skills. But the question is, how do you measure writing skills? It's not specific. Is it to improve their writing skills? It's still not specific, though it's more specific as compared to the aim. But how do we measure that? So the objectives, as is deduced from aims, comes in to say that by the time we finish this communication skills course, learners will be equipped to improve, or learners will be equipped to write not more than 250 words myself or essay about themselves. So not more than 250 words. This is more specific and measurable as compared to, say, to improve their writing skills, or the aim we say to improve their communication skills. So are you getting the difference between aims, goals, and objectives in terms of curriculum? Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
please.
Now, having looked at that, now let's get to content or subject matter. Now, when we say content or subject matter, content is basically the information to be learned in the school or the subject that learners are supposed to be taught, or knowledge that learners are supposed to be provided with. And there are various ways that content are. So example of content, we can talk of economics is a content or subject matter, mathematics, geography, and in the university level, this course we are doing is an example of content. Curriculum studies in geography, earth science, geothought, they are all content or subject matter in the course we are reading. Now, the question is, how do you select these subject matter for learners to do? Is it that you just stand up and say that, okay, all of you go and do this course? Or you must consider certain criteria or principle? Now, when we say a principle or criteria, we are just basically looking about talking about the rules or the measures that explains how something is done or that governs the conduct of a certain activity. And that's what we mean by principle. So you don't just stand up and start selecting a subject or course or any content for learners to do. You must be guided by certain criteria or certain principles. And one of the criteria in the selection of content or subject matter for curriculum development, in fact, yeah, you see, when we are developing a curriculum, after we are done teasing out the aims, goals, and objectives, the next thing is that what content will help us, what subject matter are they supposed to do that will help us to achieve these aims, goals, and objectives. So, for example, you want to be trained to become geography teachers in the senior high school. We have to use our aims that by the time you go through this program, we should be able to train geography teachers who can teach various aspects of geography effectively and efficiently. The next question is that what courses, what subject matter are we supposed to let you do that will give you the competence, the knowledge, the expertise to be able to teach geography effectively? And that's what, to answer that question, is what we talk about criteria used in the selection of content or subject matter for curriculum. And the first criteria we talk about is validity criteria or principle. And the validity principle or criteria says that the content is said to be valid if it promotes the outcome it is intended to what? Promote. So here what we are trying to say is that if we are training you to become geography teachers, then the courses we are selecting for you to do, example like elements of human geography, yeah, Anthony, your hand is up. Let me hear you.
Oh, sorry, it was a mistake.
Oh, okay. So the principle criteria of validity. What example? These courses we are asking you to do, for example, elements of human geography, earth science, geothought, curriculum studies in geography, methods of teaching geography, nature of geography. If these courses at the end of the day or by the end enables you to teach geography effectively and efficiently in the senior high school, then we can say that these content that was selected for you were valid. But if at the end of the day, you are only able to teach maybe human and not other aspect of the geography, or you are unable to teach it well, then probably the content selection were biased towards maybe more human than the physical and map work. Or some of the courses you did were not so much valid with relation to what is currently prevailing in the senior high school. So a validity criteria ensures that the subjects selected for learners to do reflect the various intended aims, goals, and objectives that are supposed to be achieved. It should promote it. If it doesn't promote that intended purpose or aims and goals, then it's not valid. The next criteria has to do with what we call the significance criteria. And yeah, when we talk of significance, we are talking about it relates to the importance of the content materials that are chosen for learners. And that's why we are saying that the materials that are provided by way of content should, besides that, it will lead to that mastery of the discipline or the subject area or the field that you are studying. That is why, you see, we are training geography teachers. Are these content we are providing for you relevant or enabling you to be in tune with current happenings in the senior high school? Now we have standard-based curriculum and new things have been introduced. These days, they don't say physical, human, and map work anymore. Now they talk about the earth and its neighborhood, which basically reflect the physical geography. They also talk about human and its environment. That human, we talk about navigating the environment, which is a practical aspect. Then we have the social, economic, and human something which reflecting the map, the human geography and the regional geography. So you see, the significance of these criteria ensures that whichever material or resources and other chosen in line with the subject matter must be so significant in a way that would develop the learner's mastery in the discipline or in the area. And so it is important that whatever we do, you must be in tune with what is currently happening in the senior high school so that you can be a master in the area in order to teach that subject. So you see, the significance goes hand in hand with validity. Yes, some content may be valid, but the way and manner it may be presented or other materials that may be chosen in addition in helping in dissemination of that content may become a problem, and that may affect its achievement of the intended purpose. The next criteria I want to talk about is comprehensiveness. Now, when we say comprehensiveness, what we are trying to say is that the courses or the subject matter or the content must be able to develop the learner holistically. Holistically means that it must not only seek to develop the cognitive to the disadvantage of the affective and psychomotor, but rather that subject matter should have an aspect that seeks to develop the intellectual ability, the attitudinal behavior of the learner. It should also be able to develop the motor skill set of the learner. And that's what we mean by comprehensiveness. So when we talk of comprehensiveness criteria, we have the view that the subject matter or the content selected must be able to develop the learner entirety in terms of the various domains of learning or the educational objectives of the learner must be developed. Here we are talking about the cognitive domain of the learner must be developed, the affective and that of the psychomotor must be developed. And that's what we mean by comprehensiveness. Then we have what we call the background of the student's criteria. And here we are talking about, see, that's why in the needs assessment, we take into consideration student needs and student background and all these things, because they are very, very critical to the achievement of the objectives. Because at the end of the day, if you are having a curriculum developed without taking into consideration the learner's needs, their concerns and demand, you end up having a problem. You end up having a curriculum which will be beyond the ability of the learners to do it. And that can create a serious problem for you as a curriculum developer and also the institution that they are supposed to deliver that subject matter to the learners. And so that's why it is important that in all ways, the learners' needs, their background, sociocultural background, their economic background, their age, their maturity level, their level of understanding and experiences are all taken into consideration to ensure that whatever are selected for them are within their domain of learning. Are within their domain of learning. So these are very, very important criteria that must be looked at. Okay, so when you look at the background of the student, that's how I said this includes their needs and interests, individual differences in terms of their age, sex, economic, socioeconomic, and cultural differences. Aptitudes, abilities are very, very important. Okay, so any question up to this point? Yeah, Osman, go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to ask us, I want you to especially between significance and then relevance. When we talk about the criteria using selection of content or subject matter, I want to differentiate it for me.
Now, the thing is, you have not gotten to relevance. So why are you coming to talk about differentiating between significance and
Oh, sorry, sir. I thought you read there because of the network. That is why I guess that.
No, we haven't gotten there.
All right.
Okay, so since you have brought it, then let's go there.
Okay, thank you.
Now, when we talk of relevance criteria, so here relevance, we are talking about the fact that how is this content you are selecting for the learner, how does it reflect in the real life situation of the learner? But in the significant, we are talking about just a minute. Wives are I salute all the wives here. Okay.
Mary, why are you a wife? The way you are laughing like that.
Hey, Steve, I'm a
More than a
mother
wife.
and a wife. Oh. I'm a mother and a wife as well, please.
Hey, Mary.
Then Mary, congratulations.
Congratulations to Mary. Some of us are still bachelors too.
Ibrahim, you're not worried. Now also your offense. Yes, salute to I.
That's it.
Ibrahim also know when yes, salute to.
You're not one.
Mati.
People wants you not one.
So okay, so in terms of the relevance, we are talking about the fact that the content or the subject matter that you have selected for the learners to do, it must have a reflection. It should be such that they can be related to real life situation. You see, that's why we are saying that when you're able to do the needs assessment, to know the concerns and the demands of the society, it leads you to design aims, goals, and objectives that reflect the needs, the concerns of the society. And that will also translate in the topics or the subject matter you are selecting. And that is where whatever you are teaching, when you are teaching the topic, we expect that they show some relevance of those subjects you have selected. How does it reflect the real life situation of the learner? Where we expect that at the end of the day, he should be able to come back to fit into the society and reconstruct the society. So relevance is talking about the content being related to the everyday life experiences of the learner. Are you getting it? But in terms of the significance, we are talking about the importance of the material chosen. And the material chosen is in connection with the subject. For example, if it's geography, there are certain topics and content in geography that we can say is outmoded. Now we have 16 regions. When you go and select this, you go and do a map of Ghana, you are citing the examples of map and you are reflecting to those times that we are using the 10. Then it's not though it is relevant, is valid in talking about helping us to achieve the map of Ghana, but in terms of significance, making sure that you get the right information and the right knowledge to be a master in that discipline will be a deficiency there. There will be deficiency there. But in terms of relevance, we are talking about how the content is reflecting the real life experiences or situation of the learner. So there are two different things altogether. And you see, normally people also confuse relevance with utility, which is another area people normally confuse. Now, when we talk of now that we know that relevance is about relating the content to the real life experiences or the situation of the learner. That's why normally I tell teachers that teachers are just like preachers or pastors. The pastors take you to church, they will tell you the theme, then they will give you the Bible passage, they will read and explain the passage, and they have what we call life application. And in the life application, they will tell you that when you bring it in our daily lives, it means so and so. But so it's the same thing as a teacher. You tell us the topic, you share the knowledge with us. We are not only interested in the knowledge, but the question is, what is the experience? What is the relevance of that knowledge in our real life situation? And that's why we must cite examples that we can relate to. For example, if we are talking about flooding, you see, we should be able to learn, the learner should be able to situate it in his life to know that it's this activity that I do that causes flooding. Hence, if I am a victim of that, I must desist from these activities, or else very soon my home will be flooded or my community will be flooded. And these are very important things that we expect that you relate it to real life situation of the learner so that he can easily relate to the things that you are providing for them. But when it comes to utility, now here utility, we are talking about the fact that the content selection or the subject matter or the course, we are looking at it in terms of the usefulness of that subject matter or the content in helping learners to solve the problems of not only the society, but also beyond their society. And that's the criteria of utility. Whilst relevance is looking at how the content must relate to real life situation, the utility criteria look at how useful is the subject matter, the content, or the course in equipping the learner to solve not only today's problem, but also tomorrow's problem and even beyond. So when you see a question like that, you must be careful to read the question to the end to be able to determine whether it is utility principle or that of the relevance principle. Then we have feasibility principle or criteria, and this has to do with looking at the time you have 1 year, you are just doing 1 year, vis-a-vis the days you meet, Saturdays and Sundays, the block system. Looking at the courses is available for you to go through. Is it something that you can do it and finish all these courses before you graduate? If it's something that you can do, then we can say that it's feasible. But considering the time constraints, the opportunities available, vis-a-vis the resource-wise, the facilities and the online module and all those things, and we compare, we try to see that you can go through the course and graduate well to be an expert or master in geography, then we are saying it's feasible. But if it is not, you are not able to finish all, then we will say that the content that was selected were not feasible. In the sense that given the time availability, the resource-wise, the facilities and all other things and opportunities, you were not able to go through all of them, and that is feasibility. Then we also have learnability principle. So normally people try to align it with difficulty level of the course. Now, when we say learnability, we are looking at it from the point of view is that looking at the demands, the nature and manner of the program and the course load Is it beyond the level of the student to go through? Is it above the ability of the learner? Or it is below the learner's ability? Are the content in there vis-a-vis the learner's age, characteristics, of way of learning, their level of maturity and assimilation? Are they able to learn it? Or is below them, or is beyond them? So learnability look at all these characteristics to ensure that whatever course you are selecting for the learners to do, they are within their level of development, their level of understanding, their level of maturity to do it. And it is not too difficult for them to give up whenever they are going through it. And that's what we term as learnability. Then we have what we call the scope. Yeah. So content we are saying that content should be selected in a way that learners have ample opportunity to use their mental power when given what opportunity. Or it can also be aligned to the fact that content should aid the learner to develop skills, attitude, and values as considered desirable. So you see the scope of geography here, the scope we are talking about, looking at the whole program scope. Is it scheduled, the selection, is it done in such a way that students are even given opportunity to explore more? Or it's all loaded to the extent that you are not even getting that leverage or that opportunity to explore as part of the program you are going through? So all these are criteria that we consider whenever we are selecting content for curriculum development. Any question? Any question? Oh, wow. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, Doc. There are no questions, please.
Now let's look at principles to follow when organizing learning content. You see, there's one thing, selecting a content, and there's one thing, organizing the content you have selected. When we say content organization is basically talking about the way and manner the various subject has been arranged, or the hierarchical structure of the content, which will reflect a certain sequence or logical flow when it's being delivered. So if you look at the previously, you see that the geography syllabus has been structured in such a way that within a term, there are some topics in physical geography you are supposed to teach. There are some topics in human you are supposed to teach. There are some topics in map work you are supposed to teach. So that's how it has been structured, and that's what we mean by organization of content. That means that within a term, you cannot teach human geography throughout. When you do that, you are going against the structure, organizational structure of the geography syllabus. That means that every term there's the topics designated for physical must be taught. Likewise, human and practical geography. Now, one of the principles you must take note whenever it comes to the organization of learning content So when we say balance, we are trying to say that there must be equal weight that is placed on all sides of the issue when it comes to curriculum decision making, so that one aspect will not be overduly emphasized as against the other. So for example, you know that the geography is in three folds. We have the physical, human, and practical. So the principle of balance will ensure that in selecting topics, you select equal number of physical geography topics, human geography topics, and practical geography topics for learners to do. But if it ends up to become that at the end of the day, throughout your program, you have done, let's say, 5 physical geography courses, 3 or let's say 7 human geography courses, and let's say 2 practical geography, that is imbalance. That means that human geography courses dominate the program, which is not good, because at the end of the day, you are expected to teach the same subjects with the same branches. So in balance, we ensure that if we are teaching 5 physical geography topics, it should be 5 human geography and 5 practical geography. And that's what the balance seeks to. So that one aspect is not overemphasized as against the other. Then we have what we call the principle of sequence. So according to Palmer, sequence is the logical arrangement of the subject matter. The logical arrangement. You see that when it comes to the arrangement of their subject matter, certain topics is a prerequisite for another topic. Certain topics are prerequisite for another topic. So for example, you see, methods of teaching is a prerequisite for micro teaching and off-campus teaching practice. That means that if you have not done methods of teaching, you cannot do off-campus, because methods of teaching is a prerequisite for micro teaching and teaching practice. So you cannot say that, oh, as for me, I've gone to do off-campus, I'm now coming to do methods of teaching, which is wrong. So in talking about the logical arrangement of the subject matter, it is done in such a way that you will first do methods of teaching before you come and do micro teaching and off-campus. And that's what we mean by the logical arrangement of the subject to follow a certain hierarchical format, which will ensure a smooth transition and delivery by the learner. That's why sequence also refers to ordering or arranging content such that previous knowledge serves as a background to the new knowledge, and the new knowledge builds upon the old ones. So that is that for sequence. Then we have continuity principle also there, which the continuity principle always tries to and tells you that whatever the learner learns, the learner is a functional organism. And since life is a continuous process, learning must also be seen as a continuous process. So there shouldn't be any disconnect with the content organization. It should be said that it is a continuous learning. That's why it should be a build-up from what they learned in their basic 1 to their basic 2 to their basic what? 3, in that manner. So that at the end of the day, there will be a logical flow or understanding of what is being delivered or taught by the teacher. So that is that with this. So that's why I say the content must be organized in such a way that they may link up or build upon. Yeah, Ima Amwa, your hand is up. Let me hear you. Okay, you said is it the same as progression? So in yeah, Nima, I'm listening.
So look, that is the question that I sent on the inbox.
Yeah, that's what okay.
To find out if it's the same as progression.
So in continuity, you see, progression goes a step further. I getting it, but it has continuity also have a characteristic of progression. I getting it. So
yes, sir.
In progression wise, you progress, the learner progress according to their ability. So for example, the standard way we are talking about, the progression of the learner is not so much about the content you are delivering, but according to the learner's ability and the activity they are able to do. But where you are dealing with a subject base, then the progression will be more on the content organization and it's how they are moving from one aspect of the learning to another. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Then we are what to call the integration principle. Integration. So anytime you hear the word integration, it's about fusing, blending. And here we are saying that, see, at every point in time, there should be a point where content and learning experience must be fused, blend in a way that will follow a certain logical thought and that experience for the learners. You see, and under integration, we have two forms of integration. We have what we call the vertical integration and horizontal integration. Now, when we say horizontal integration, this is where you draw ideas from different subject area to explain, let's say, a concept in your subject area. So for example, if I pick a concept in, let's say, physics, like force, tensional force, compressional force, and I use that to explain the formation of a landform associated with faulting, like a Rift Valley, which is a geographic landform. So if I use the concept of tensional force, compressional force from physics to explain these concepts, then what we are doing is what we call horizontal integration. So from physics to explain a certain concept in geography, then we call it horizontal integration. But and take note, with the horizontal integration, it should be at the same level by different subject areas. So you cannot pick a concept in Form 3 physics to come and explain a concept in Form 1 geography. That is not done in horizontal. The concept you are picking should be at the same level. So Form 1 physics concept, and you draw that knowledge to explain in Form 1 geography. Because if you go and pick a concept from physics, maybe Form 3, the child is just in Form 1. Uncle Form 2, crime or Form 2, with the concept over there. So it will be difficult for that child to explain. But when it comes to vertical integration, the vertical integration is within the same subject area but different levels. So for example, whatever in your secondary school you were taught rocks, and you were limited to the types of rocks according to the mode of formation. Is that also where you talk about igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic rock? Is that also? But when it came to the university level, we now build upon it. We add up by taking you through additional types of rock based on the age of the rock, the texture of the rock. I getting it. So for example, according to the age of the rock, that's why we have the Precambrian, the Mesozoic, and Cenozoic rock, which example is the Taquarian rock. And I believe you did this in physical geography. And or you haven't done it?
You've done it.
Okay. So that is what we call vertical integration. So it's the same subject, whatever you learn at the lower level, like the geography, I'm talking about the rocks. The university level, we add more types, because at the senior high school level, we believe that you are not quite matured to be bombarded with these different to make you confused. But the university level is believed that you are quite matured, you are able to decipher between complex and analytical issues. So that's why we have the vertical integration. So always take note that with the vertical integration, it's the same subject area but different levels. But the horizontal is different subject areas but the same level. Then the last one, which is the articulation or coherence. Articulation or coherence. Yeah, articulation or coherence. We are saying that each subject matter should be smoothly connected to the next in order to avoid overlaps, or glaring gaps or wasteful overlaps in the subject matter that will be avoided. So at this level, what we do is that we try to organize the subject matter or the content in such a way that there is no overlapping of topics or subject topics in each of them. That's why I had a problem when NACA brought a release that it has come to their notice that a minute,
Mary, are you still there?
So sorry. Yeah. Okay, so that's why I was wondering why, in the last 2 years or so, NACA released uh, a document, a letter suggesting that the religious and moral education topics are virtually the same as that of the award our people. I don't know if you saw that letter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we did.
So the question one would have asked is that's one of the things we do under this point of articulation and coherence to ensure that this overlapping of topics in different subjects are minimized. So that you don't see topics repeating themselves in RME and repeating themselves in award and our people. Because the same learner going to learn these two topics, subject. So that's what articulation seeks to address. Okay. Any question with the principles that has been espoused? Any question?
No, sir.
Then we come to the third, which is method or learn experience. When we talk of method or learn, these are just the instructional strategies, the methods, the techniques that we use to deliver the content that has been selected. Or learn experiences can also be learn experiences according to Tyler. They are the activities that ensue between the learner and the external conditions. With the learner and the external conditions, referring to the learner and the teacher. So what I'm engaging with you, the online discussion, according to Tyler, is an example of a learning experience where I am interacting with you online. You are also sharing your bit of information. I'm also adding up. According to Tyler, it's a learning experience. The interaction between the learner and his peers. So I'm sure at a point you do group discussion among yourself, peer learning and all those things, example of learning experience. According to it, the interaction between the learner and the subject. So for example, when you pick the subject and you are reading, making your notes, according to Tyler, it's a learning experience. So you see, we are saying that instructional studies and methods will link to curriculum experience, which is very fundamental to the curriculum development. Because these methods or teaching strategies or techniques or learning experience convert the curriculum into instruction. Now, the question is, how do you then select these learning experiences? How do you select them? And take note here that some of the criteria we talked about in selection of the content are also here. For example, content, the validity principle is also here. And here we are saying that the learning experiences that you select, be it maybe either question and answer or brainstorming or let's say field work or whichever activity you select for learners to go through, must be relevant and must ensure that it helps you to achieve the objective that you have set out to achieve. So when a learning experience or activity helps you to achieve your intended objectives or purpose, then we say that that thing is valid. That activity or learning experience is valid. But if it's not, then there's a problem somewhere, then it's invalid. But at times it may be valid, but because of the teacher who did not understand the way and manner it must be delivered, it can create a problem. And that's why we are saying that valid learning experience is supposed to be closely connected to the educational goal or the expected behavioral change implied by the objective. So you see that is the same explanation for the content, just that here you replace the content with learning experience. Then we have comprehensiveness, which we have already talked about in content one, where we said that the learning experience or the activity or method or techniques you use in your classroom should be able to ensure the holistic development of the learner. And yes, it should cater for all the domains of learning in an instructional situation. That is, must cater for the cognitive, affective, and the psychomotor domain. So you realize that validity, comprehensiveness, and relevance and all these still play. Then we have variety principle. Here we are saying that should variety means that vary. You see, because as teachers, learners are different people with different experiences, learning styles, and different ways of learning and different needs and concerns and abilities and aptitude. It is expedient, it is important that you vary your instructional methods. It is instructive that you vary your learning experiences or your methods in order to enable the learners with different learning styles and different abilities achieve their experiences. In fact, that's the main reason why in the standard-based curriculum for the senior high school, there is a key word in the new learner planner, what we call a keynote of differentiation, or some call it differentiated learning. And I'm sure you have come across that word, differentiated learning or keynote of differentiation. Have you?
Yes, sir. Differentiated learning.
Yes. Because it's because of some of these situations, you see. Because so differentiated, what it seeks to do that if you teach a concept like rocks formation and you show them charts of how the rock process forms, and all the students, let's say about 20 of the students in class, 18 understood, 2 did not. With the concept of differentiated learning requires you that probably you provide further explanation or additional resource or maybe picture or a video of how the rock form for those 2 students to also watch it and get the understanding. That's what I mean by differentiated what? Learning. So that learners with diverse needs will also meet their needs. Then we have suitability principle. We are saying that learning experience should be appropriate to the general level of development of the growth and the particular circumstance of the individual learners within the group. Suitability here we are talking about looking at the learner's maturity level, their characteristics, their needs and interests. Are these activities within their level of maturity to do it, or it is beyond them? And if you know that an activity or a task that is beyond the learner, they will give up. Or is it below them, or it is within their ability to do it? So that's what suitability talks about. That is, the learner experience should be appropriate to the general level of development of the learners. And also the word appropriateness that you see there is that apart from falling within their reach, it's not anything you can tax learners at certain age or grade levels to do. I remember I met some students or children at cafe, class 2 or class 3, and they said they have been given project where to go to internet and do research projects. And I asked myself, class 2 or class 3, what proper project can they do? And as at 3:30 to 4, instead of them going home, they were at cafe, all because they have been given projects. What better project are they going to do? So you see, there are certain things that at their level and their characteristic nature of learners, it's not suitable. So why are we burdening this case, class 2? What projects? Cafe or what they will end up diverting into different areas, watching things they are not supposed to watch. Even those who are given tablet to learn, we are being told by the education minister that they are using it to watch porno. Is that not so? So you see, there are certain activities or experiences it is not appropriate to expose certain levels of learners. If it were to be secondary school, that's fine. If it is junior high school, that's fine. If it is university, that's fine. You see, by class 2, what project Papa Ben? What do you call having? And I'm going to call a Grammy Award. Anyway. Then we have the multiple learning criteria. Multiple learning. Here we are saying that the learning experiences or the methods or the activities you select as a developer or a teacher. So besides that, you can derive a lot of outcome for it. So one activity, you're able to generate a lot of outcomes for it. That's why I say it should be selected in such a way that one learning experience could be used to attain several objectives at the same time. So for example, I remember one of the courses I was handling at Presby University, Element of Physical Geography. That's the course I teach, Presby University at Ekropong. Element of Physical Geography, Element of Human Geography, and all these courses. The content was. No, because I have background in geography. I mean, you know that.
We know that.
So when you see that, you see MPhil and the MA be there. The MPhil is in curriculum and teaching. See, MPhil curriculum and teaching in geography education. Then the MA is geography and regional planning. So Masters of Arts in geography and regional planning from geography department. Before the PhD in curriculum and teaching in geography education. So normally when I go outside, I use the content, and my first degree was in BS Social Science, like what you are doing, geography and economics. Geography was my major. So the MA and the MPhil you see in my that's the meaning. There are two different masters from two different fields. One is in curriculum and teaching in geography education. Then one is geography and regional planning. So there was this on rocks. And because most of them, I think I had about 5 of the students being policemen and women. So I decided to show them a video. And that video captures all the objectives I have for the day. So the video started giving you the difference between mineral and rock, the examples before it comes to the meaning of rocks, the rock, the formation, the types, and how they are formed, the examples of rocks, and the economic importance. And that one particular video that they watched as an activity ended up achieving all the objectives. And that's what we call multiple learning. That's why we say, where feasible, learning experience should be selected in such a way that one learning experience could be used to attain several objectives at the same time. I get in a picture. Then we have balance, which is just the same like what we said in a content organization. So this means that equal weight should be placed on all sides on the issue. So that means that if you're also selecting activities, it should be reflective in all the 3 areas of geography, not only one side at the disadvantage of the other side. And that's why we are saying that there must be effective balance in providing experiences that are supposed to cater for welfare and progress of society, and those which are supposed to meet the growth and development of individual learners' needs. We have continuity as another criteria. And here we are saying that this refers to the fact that learning as a continuous. So you see that most of these things are quite the same as what we discussed at the content And when we say curriculum evaluation, it basically refers to the formal determination of the quality, effectiveness, or the value of the program, the process of implementation, and the curriculum. So in curriculum evaluation. And in education, where there are a lot of educational models that are used. But one of the most widely used model in curriculum evaluation is the Staffing Beam CIPP model. The Staffing Beams CIPP model, where the C stands for context, that is the environment within which the curriculum is being implemented. So, for example, we are saying that students should do ICT at the basic school, computing and write PEC. So, in that implementation, the question the context will ask is that, is the environment conducive for the implementation of computing as a core subject? Does every basic school in Ghana have electricity connecting? If they do they have computer labs? Do they have the laptops or the computers, so that someone will not end up using stone as a mouse? And a whole lot of deficiencies and difficulty which hampers what we seek to achieve as an institution. Then the I stand for input. That is the ingredient of the curriculum. So here we are talking about the content itself in terms of the curriculum or the syllabus or those textbooks that are accompanying it. We look at the content and see whether it reflects current needs or demand, or some are outdated, outmoded, that needs to be changed. All those things are assessed. Then the process has to do with the ways and means of implementing. So this one, it borders on the teachers who are teaching it. How are they implementing it? Are they implementing it the way that it must be implemented? All these things are things that we pay attention to at the process. Then we have the last few, which is the product. And here it has to do with those who have gone through that program and have graduated and currently in the world of job. These are the people that we interview them to get their view of how the program had impact in their lives. Now, what is the uses of evaluation? Through curriculum evaluation, we are able to select appropriate content based on the aims and objectives of the curriculum. We are also able to select appropriate method to address the content and the purpose. And we are also able to check the effectiveness of the methods and learning experiences used. We are also able to check the suitability and appropriateness of the curriculum in answering the social needs of both the learners and the society, and also to give feedback to planners of the curriculum, the learners, the teachers, industry, and society as well. And evaluation also provide a rationale for making changes. So these are some uses, but this one, we'll look at evaluation as a whole concept. So these are just some synopsis to give you an idea of what goes on in the various elements. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the first topic or units. Any question up to this point?
No, please.
Say,
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Any other?
Sir, please, after the class, I hope we will get the slide.
Why don't you have the material?
This is very.
Okay, so what's good? God willing, I'll be coming to. Osman, your background is noisy. I'll be coming to Sunyani, God willing, tomorrow. So by Tuesday, I'll be in Sunyani.
Okay, Doc.
So, yes, please. So those of you
Please,
in
I have
Sunyani,
6 books
please go
going to
ahead.
Sunyani.
Pardon?
I have 6 books going to Sunyani. 6 books to Sunyani.
Yes. So I'll liaise with the course rep so that, in fact, the institute is running a program at Penkwasi Wise Education Complex at Penkwasi. So I'll be there for some days. I think for 3-4 days, and I'll come back. So those who are in Sunyani, together with the one in Techiman, you can collate and let me have it. So when I come on Tuesday, you will come around and I'll give it to you. Or the one who is Techiman, we can just give it to a car in Sunyani and we'll get it to you. But please, when you get it, try to solve the review questions, the objective ones and the questions in there. So that when we finish, you see, as we are done with Unit 1 like this, go back the review questions and try to solve them. It is very helpful. See, so those who have eyes and who have ears to listen to the angel of the Lord, to the church of Ephesus, pay heed to the voice of the angel of the Lord. Before the day of judgment, will be found wanting. Okay. So, in absence, when are we supposed to close?
4, please.
4.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay, so it's 3:52. Okay, then we'll end it here. Then, so our next meeting is Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Is it 11:30 or 11:50?
Yes.
It's 11:30.
11:30. Okay. Okay. So we'll meet, God willing, next week Sunday. I think we'll be able to cover about 2 topics or 3. Yeah, 2 topics next week. Then the following week, another 2 topics. Then the following week, we are done. Yeah.
But, looking at the chapter 2, I think it's about it's not all that many as compared to the chapter the unit 1. So perhaps if there's a way we can have some 30 minutes to finish it, looking at the time period.
No, you see, you may see in content that there are not many, but in explanation, you need examples and other things to get understanding. So you may say that on the face value, there are not many. But you see, as I talk, I have to cite examples practical examples that you can relate, which can go beyond 30 minutes, my brother. Or you don't agree with me?
Sir, please, I agree with you.
Yes. So don't worry. We'll finish within time. Why?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And the unit 2 is as equally important as unit 1.